All right, welcome to this explainer. Have you ever scrolled past one of those super slick, highly stylized videos online and thought, man, I could never do that. I just don't have the skills or, the massive budget. Well, prepare to have your mind completely blown today. We're going to break down a fascinating source that reveals a zero-cost, step-by-step workflow to completely automate complex video edits. Seriously, you don't need to be a pro editor, and you definitely don't need a budget for this. Okay, let's just quickly look at our roadmap for today. First, the AI editing magic. Second, prep, record, split, inspire. Third, perfecting prompts with ChatGPT. Fourth, generate with Gemini Omni. Fifth, assemble and refine edits. And finally, top use cases for creators. All right, diving into section 1, the AI editing magic, skipping the 2-day grind. So if you've ever tried to manually edit highly stylized content, you already know it is a total grind. It's tedious, it's super technical, and frankly, it's exhausting. So I really want to pose this question directly to you. Do you actually believe a fully stylized video, we're talking complete with dynamic text, rich sound effects, and smooth motion graphics, can be edited entirely by AI for completely free? I know, it kind of sounds like a gimmick, right? But the source material shatters this illusion right out of the gate. It is absolutely possible today. Look at this true contrast. What normally takes a human editor up to 2 grueling days of keyframing, rendering, tweaking audio levels, all of that can now be done in literally a few minutes using free AI models. It's just a complete paradigm shift in content creation. It's wild how fast it actually works.
Moving right along to section 2, prep, record, split, inspire, setting up for success.
Okay, so the real secret to getting mind-blowing output from an AI, it's all in the prep work. You can't just throw raw footage at a bot and hope for a masterpiece. The source breaks this prep phase down into 3 absolutely crucial steps. First, you shoot your talking head video. Just get your base footage down. Second, you have to split that video into chunks. And third, find your reference visuals. You really have to know what you want the final product to look like before you even begin. And here is a super important detail. The magic number here is 10, the 10-second rule. According to the source, this is non-negotiable. You absolutely must cut your base video into 10-second chunks. Why? Because these advanced AI video models, like Gemini Omni, handle shorter clips way better. If you try to feed it a 2-minute video, it just gets confused. But 10 seconds, it processes that beautifully. Now, to pull off this workflow, you do not need expensive software. The source actually outlines this specific stock of entirely free tools. So you'll grab something like Clipchamp for splitting and merging those 10-second clips. You'll scour Pinterest and YouTube for your visual references. You're going to use ChatGPT to generate your text prompts. And finally, Google Flow, which uses the Gemini Omni model, for the actual video generation. On to section 3, perfecting prompts with ChatGPT. Learning the secret language. So, how do we perfectly translate the crazy visual ideas in our head into instructions the AI can actually understand? Well, here is a massive pro tip pulled straight from the source. When you open ChatGPT, don't just ask it to write a prompt. Give it your basic idea and then add this exact phrase. Ask any questions you need before generating the prompt. You are literally flipping the script and instructing the AI to interview you. And here is exactly how that conversation plays out. First up, you upload those reference screenshots you grabbed from Pinterest or YouTube straight into ChatGPT. Then you paste in the exact words you spoke for that specific 10-second chunk. ChatGPT is going to analyze the images, and because you told it to interview you, it's going to start asking clarifying questions. It might ask, if you want a 16:9 ratio, what your niche is, what the camera style should feel like, or even how aggressive or chaotic you want the motion graphics to be. By just taking a few minutes to answer those, ChatGPT generates a highly customized, incredibly precise prompt for your exact needs. All right, section 4, generate with Gemini Omni, bringing the magic to life. So, with our perfectly crafted prompt ready to go, we step into Google Flow to execute the actual video generation. The source details these precise steps so your original footage gets processed correctly. You create a new project, select the videos option, and upload that first 10-second chunk. Make sure to choose your ratio and definitely select the Omni Flash model. Then paste in that beautiful prompt ChatGPT wrote. Oh, and this is absolutely critical. You must toggle the Add to Prompt button for your uploaded video. That ensures the AI actually applies the prompt to your footage instead of just hallucinating something totally random. Wait, before you hit that generate button, the source offers another huge pro tip. Don't just rely on the text. You should actually upload your visual reference screenshots directly into the Google Flow prompt right alongside the text you just pasted. That visually anchors the AI. It gives it a concrete example of the exact aesthetic, color palette, and layout you're aiming for. Let's look at Section 5, Assemble and Refine Edits. Polishing the illusion. Because look, even magic has hiccups. The AI isn't always going to give you a flawless masterpiece on the very first try. Check out this quote from the source. "This is the harsh reality nobody shares. Trial and error is the unseen struggle behind perfect reels." The AI might generate a clip where your voice sounds a little muffled, or maybe there's a weird visual glitch. The fix? You just converse with the AI. If the audio is weird, literally type back to Google Flow, "Hey, there's a fumble here. Please use the original voice of the speaker." Just treat it like an assistant and give it feedback until that 10 seconds is perfect. When you finally get an output you absolutely love, you need to save it. But the source warns against just clicking that standard, obvious download icon. Scratch that. Bypass it entirely. Use the three little dots menu instead to select the 1080p download option. That makes sure you're pulling the absolute highest definition, most enhanced quality version of the file. So finally, you're just going to repeat that process for every 10-second chunk of your script. Once you've got all those polished little clips downloaded, take them back into a basic free editor like Clipchamp. Drag them in, drop them in chronological order, and merge them. You can even layer in some final sweeping sound effects or background tracks if you want. And boom, just like that, your fragments are seamlessly assembled into a final masterpiece.
And finally, Section 6, Top Use Cases for Creators, Expanding Your Horizons.
Now that you have this incredibly powerful, entirely free workflow at your fingertips, where should you actually apply it? Well, the source lists some really high-value applications, proving this goes way beyond just your basic social media posts. I mean, yes, it's perfect for Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts, but imagine making incredibly engaging product ads for a brand. Or what about using this to make a corporate presentation stand out in a sea of boring slides? You could do cinematic walkthroughs for real estate or super dynamic teasers for events. The visual quality here is definitely high enough to be professional grade.
And it's really important to look at the bigger picture here too. Mastering these specific AI workflows can significantly boost your value in the job market. Right now, companies across all sectors are actively hunting for people who actually know how to use AI for content generation and workflow automation. So it's not just a cool trick, it's a highly in-demand career skill that can dramatically increase your earning potential.
Okay, we've covered a ton of ground today, stripping away the mystery of high-end AI video editing. You basically have a superpower now, a workflow that condenses 2 entire days of intense manual labor into just a few minutes of clever prompting, and all of it for free. So I want to leave you with this. Grab your phone today, shoot just a raw 10-second clip of yourself talking, and run it through this exact process. What will your first 10-second masterpiece be?